All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I had to look at my clock to make sure what time zone I was in. Welcome to What App. Okay, what app is, what I like to call it. Looks like we only have 10 people on so far. We'll let them trickle in. I strongly believe that I will never punish the good for the deeds of the wicked. You were all here on time, so I feel like we should start on time and finish on time. But let's, we're talking about an apps class, and this is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to, because what I like to do is I got my top 5 that we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth. And as I discuss an app, I want you to then take your phone out. This is like one of the only classes like, everybody take your phone out. Take your phone out, download the app, and then we'll give it a try, right? Because that's the best way for you to kind of figure out how apps work. And you can see there's another JMan Speaks. Yeah, there it is. And I'll change that to JMan's phone, because what I'll do is I'll share my screen on my phone to demonstrate how a lot of these apps work. I might even prank call some people using video just to show you how easy it really is. So post in the chat where you're from. Obviously, you're from Northwest Mississippi, I would imagine, but we all specialize in one area, and a good part of any online session that you take is the networking that you get to do, the people that you get to meet. I spent the last 3 days in a virtual, in the NAR virtual conference, and I met people from all over the world. I just received a referral from somebody from Alaska, and I'm in New York. Okay, so you never know what might happen. Make sure that you get out there and you meet people. A little bit about me. Like I said in the beginning, my name is Jeremias JMan Maneiro. I am from Rochester, New York. Raise your hand if you know where Rochester, New York is. Anybody? Okay, Kim does. All right, and sir, that will rename nameless because you don't have a name on your Zoom account. So maybe just you don't have to put what your real name is, folks. Just put whatever you'd like to be called for today, right? Dana, there isn't any kind of CE with this, right? Yeah, so we could have fun and we can do whatever we want. So whatever you want your alias to be for the day, feel free to just change that. Willie Alexander knows where it is. Okay, so Rochester, New York is between Buffalo and Syracuse, and I can tell you that I am a real estate practitioner, a realtor, for going on 15 years now. I started in 2005. So when I talk about apps to use in your real estate business, these are apps that I use every single day. So I'm not a guy, there was nothing more annoying to me when I would sit somewhere and this guy's telling me, these are all great apps for you to use in real estate. And like, you in real estate? Oh, no, I'm a home inspector. Well, how can you tell me what's good if you've never done what we do? And I've changed this recently to, because of our current conditions and everything that we do that's virtual and video and really giving you, I think, the best apps to communicate with your clients virtually via video. Okay, you guys ready to begin? Yes. On the bottom right-hand corner, there's reactions. So you can actually do these virtual reactions like this. It's a great way. Yeah, Dana's a pro. It's a great way for you to kind of, if you don't want to show your face, which I want to see all of your lovely faces, because look I'm an extrovert with ADHD. So you put me in a virtual world and I can only see myself. It's depressing for me. So let me see you, see your faces. Thank you, C. Lauren Jones. Very formal. I like that. Feel like I should curtsy. And if you don't have a name, again, just put whatever name you have on there. I'm going to try to go to the shared screen over here. All right. So welcome to What App. Again, these are all of my favorites and what I use in my real estate business. Make sure this is going to work properly as I come over here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, perfect. All right, so our objective today is to discover top apps for real estate and how to best utilize them to enhance your productivity. So when you're enhancing your productivity, that means you could sell more houses, or if you're like me, you could work less and make the same amount of money. Since the beginning, I can tell you, my first year I did 43 transactions. My average transaction was $38,000. And I was like, man, I can't do this and make a living. I want to be able to see my family and enjoy life. And so I said I have to find ways to be more efficient. And then I also improved my average sale price because I was risking my life every day selling $38,000 homes. So that's efficiency and productivity. So whatever your goals are, I'm here to help you to achieve that. Because now I think this time of year, I know you had me 2 months ago, I think it was, right? Was it 2 months? Where we did tech tools, and then you had my very good French friend Antoine Dupont telling you about YouTube. He's right, I believe you did. That was the last one. And so I'm going to tie in some of what I talked about in the tech tools in with the apps, because I know we have to hear things more than once, right? In order to take action sometimes 10 times. You have to find like, okay, BombBomb, I get it. It's a great system. I should use it. So first step is BombBomb. I want you to take out your phone. I want you to download the BombBomb app. And I have, let me see if I got some lovely music that I can play while you're This is my on break. I'll wait. That's downloading app music. Okay, so why BombBomb? And I'll give you a workaround if you're like, it is a paid service. I don't get paid to endorse their services, even though I should, because I talk about it so often. But I had to find a way to stay in front of my clients, both my existing clients and my sphere of influence, so they wouldn't forget about me, right? You know the statistics that they say 88% of our clients would refer us, 12% actually do, and it's because we don't stay top of mind, right? We mean to, we get busy, especially this year has been so crazy. And the best way to stay in front of your clients and be face-to-face is video when you can't be. We talked about that in the tech tools, but BombBomb takes it one step further. Any kind of communication that I would have with my clients, I do it via video, right? Have you ever been misunderstood or misinterpreted via text or email? Everybody just go like this, right? Those of you, I could see it. I'm pretty sarcastic. If you can't tell that already at times, that's hard to do via text message. I've had some very active discussions with agents because I'm jokingly saying something via text, and they'll call me like, "You." I told this one agent it was a very stressful transaction, and I was like, "Man, I should retire after this one." Like, I meant it was so challenging that we should all take a break. And she called me like, "I'll retire you SOB," and like really crazy. And it was, I was like, I didn't mean it that way, but maybe you should after this discussion. But it's the best way to do it. So with BombBomb, you're going to get more replies. You're going to convert more leads. If those of you who are still working with internet leads, when do they want service? Right now, right? They want as soon as they send you a message, they want an immediate response. Well, guess what? You guys are taking an hour out of your life to learn something new today. If they did reply with BombBomb, there's an integration that auto replies. If it was, let's say, a service that rhymes with pillow, right? That pillow lead comes in, and BombBomb automatically sends them a video email, and it says, "Hey, this is Jeremias, JMan Maneiro with the Maneiro team at XYZ Realty. I get it. You want to get into that property as soon as humanly possible. I am your agent. Don't you dare click on any other agents. I promise I'm the best person to help you with this. I'll get in touch with you real soon." So even just having that immediate response, right? That's enough for them to feel pacified, I guess it'd be the best way to say it, because they're like little babies. They need a pacifier at that moment until you can get to them, until you're done with your appointment, until you're done doing what you want to do. So here are the statistics for those of you who like statistics. 81% more replies, 68% reported converting more leads, and then 56% get more referrals. This was a big challenge for me because I love selling. I love the closing process, and I wasn't staying in touch with my clients enough. With video, it really helps me where I can set it up and say systematically once a month, I have an email that goes out to my entire database, right? And it's not like, "Hey, everybody, this is how many properties we sold this month." It's like, "Hey, everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I'm really grateful for all of you who have helped make the Maneiro team a success again this year. If there's any way that we can help you, please reach out. We are doing a reverse pie giveaway where they actually swing by the office and we throw a pie into their car. Not literally, but we partner with a local bakery. They come by and we give them a pie just to say thanks. Maybe 10% of our clients actually do it, but the fact that we reach out and show them that we care about them, that's where the power is, right? And it's me going just like this. Hey, we're really grateful for you guys, and this has been one of our best years ever. Real estate is insane in the Rochester area. That's not why I'm contacting you, though. I'm just calling to say thanks. And how are you and your family, and how can we help you, in the future? There's an old adage that people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care, right? I hope most of you have heard that before. And emotion, feelings, all of that is easily communicated like this. I can't really show you how much I care in a sentence or a text message, but really leaning in and saying, hey, Dana, how are things? Right? It's very different than like a text message. How you doing? And I think once we start connecting, agents, a lot of times they want to connect head to head, meaning like logic to logic, and say, oh, it's a great time to buy a home. Interest rates are low, great return on your investment, et cetera, rather than saying like, what my clients love the most is that every day they get to come home. They get to come home. Their kids get to have a place that they call home. They can paint the rooms whatever color they want. They don't have a landlord that they have to call to fix things. They have a backyard that they can play in. Like, that's the American dream of home ownership. And when you can communicate that with clients like that, heart to heart, right? You arouse emotion, you show feelings. That's when you're going to win them over. And even, I'm not a cat person, but Dana and I are really good friends already, just from seeing everything that's going on in her life with this lazy cat in the background. Look at him. So funny. So funny. All right. So
as a sales professional,
quick message from
Bomba. Better when you're face-to-face, but all too often you're stuck relying on traditional emails and voicemails that don't get replies and they don't help people connect with you. BombBomb puts you back into your sales process so you can win more opportunities every day. Whether you're following up with a new lead, reconnecting with a past client, or simply confirming an appointment, you are more persuasive when people see you and when they can hear you, when they get to experience you in person. With simple videos and tracking for smarter follow-up, BombBomb customers are getting more replies and responses, more clicks in their emails, higher lead conversion. They're staying in touch more effectively and generating more referrals. Recording and sending videos is easy with your desktop, your laptop, mobile device, even from Gmail, Salesforce, or another system you might be using. Listen, the key to winning the fight for attention in someone's crowded inbox is simply your smiling face. And with our animated previews, people see your face right away, and your video's not an attachment, so it actually gets delivered. And you know when it does. We back all your sends with tracking and analytics, live alerts, push notifications. You'll know the exact who and when of every single email open, link click, and video play, so you can reach back out when you're top of mind. Scheduling, reminders, mass email sending, and even canned responses so you don't have to type the same messages over and over again. BombBomb will help you save time, communicate more clearly, and connect with people more effectively, accelerating your sales cycle and improving your results. Try BombBomb absolutely free for 2 weeks, no credit card info required, and start winning more opportunities.
All right, that's the commercial part of it. Is that pretty awesome? Go like this, yes? Right. And the power is, imagine you do an in-person open house, or I guess that's a long way to imagine when we can do that again. But let's say you do an open house and you have a great conversation with somebody. Tommy comes in. Tommy's like, hey, I want to build a new home. And this is from a conversation we had earlier. He just built a new home, right? And he comes in, he wants to build a new home. He has a certain subdivision that he's looking into. I know a lot about new construction. So after that open house, I would walk right outside and say, hey, Tommy, this is Jeremias, JMan Maneiro with the Maneiro team at Remax Realty Group, or XYZ Realty. It was really great talking to you at the open house. I understand that you want to build the home of your dreams, and that is so exciting. Let me help you with that subdivision, because it all starts with selecting the right lot, right? And let me help you build the home of your dreams. This is Jeremias, JMan Maneiro with the Maneiro team. We're your architects of the American dream. Right. So when I have good conversations, if Tommy didn't have an agent, if Tommy had an agent, that's where it ends. But if Tommy didn't have an agent, after he leaves, I'm taking notes in my either in my head or on a paper or in your phone, and I'm adding details from our conversation so that I can send him that video that's personalized to him. So he knows immediately I'm setting myself apart from all of the competition that he visited that day, all of the open houses he went to. Maybe somebody calls him. Maybe somebody sends an email. Maybe somebody says, here's my flyer, call me if you want me, right? The most passive way of marketing known to mankind. Uh, but I'm the only one that sends a personalized email and shows him that I care and shows him that I listened, right? I'm going to win him over every single time. Maybe Tommy and I aren't a good fit. Then I would just send him a video, say, hey, thanks for coming by the open house. I got a great agent in my office that specializes in new construction. I would love to refer them to you, right? I think overall, we try too often to work with everybody, and you should work with people that are the best fit and that you can give the highest possible service, right? If I don't know about investment properties anymore, which I don't, because I started referring that business out 14 years ago, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to refer it to somebody in my office. Okay. But I know a lot about new construction. I'm like, Tommy, let's go. Let's find that lot. Step one. And then, like, I have one of my best friends that I grew up with. I helped him build a home. We actually took a plan that was available online and customized it. The builder liked the plan so much, it's now called the Du Bois, which is his last name. Okay. Like that's what we do. That's what we do every day. Okay. And if you're watching the video in the background there, these templates are already built out for you in BombBomb. So it could be like, follow up from open house, follow up, internet lead, sellers, how do showings work, right? So you see main selling rooms, add air qualifications. Should I get a home inspection? Summer curb appeal. One that I would probably do now that I would send out to everybody would be, should I sell my home in the winter? Right? Or when is the best time to sell your home? Or should I sell my home during the holidays? I understand you guys are in Mississippi. Your weather's a little bit different than me in upstate New York, where we have feet of snow. It's a legitimate question, like, should we sell? And the answer is always yes, right? And what I would say is, it's about quality over quantity. We're going to have less buyers out looking in feet of snow. However, those buyers are extremely motivated. Would you agree? And those agents are extremely motivated as well, because we carry boots and we carry shovels in our car for that agent. You go there to the listing and like, oh, did you plow? Yeah, we plowed. I get there, there's a foot of snow. I'm like this, shoveling all the way to the front door. Like, full service realtor, son of a gun. This guy better have this plowed. This is what we go through. Okay. So that first app was BombBomb. Second one, and the reason why I say app, you can do BombBomb on your computer like you saw in the video, but I want you to be able to do stuff all the time. Because if you have the excuse, right, Jeff, if you said, hey, I'll do that when I get back to the office. What happens when you get back to the office? Phone call comes in, you got paperwork to do, you hop on the computer, this guy starts talking about the football game from yesterday, and you don't do it. We have too many excuses. But if I say to myself, every time I leave an open house, whoever I had a quality conversation with, I'm going to do that video right outside. Like, I'm literally in the front yard. You don't have to worry about inclement weather as much as we do. So the second app is going to be Google Meet, right? I talked about in Tech Tools, Google Calendar. Google Meet now integrates with Google Calendar. They're trying to force feed it on you, to be honest. They're like, the default for your video meetings is going to be Google Meet. If you don't want that, you could always change it to something else. What's good about that is that you have to have the app on your phone, and they make it really easy for you to create appointments and create video meetings from the app on your phone. If you are working with somebody else who has an iPhone, iOS, and like that, it works mobile to desktop. It works mobile to mobile. You can chat, you can message. There's groups, and you could also share your location. I'm going to show you a little bit.
Welcome to Google's new tool for video conferencing, Google Hangouts Meet. Whether you're new to video conferencing with Google or are familiar with the outgoing Google Hangouts, the new Meet experience provides a streamlined way to connect with people on campus or around the globe. Just like with classic Hangouts, you can have up to 25 people join your conference. Here's what's new. A new place to begin at meet.google.com, where you can start a new meeting or join an event already in progress by entering a meeting code. And don't worry, you can still add a video chat to your Google Calendar events by opening your event details, clicking Add Conferencing, and selecting Hangouts Meet. Then, all attendees join the conference by clicking the link included in the meeting invitation or by dialing in to the number provided. Once you join, your meeting tools are located at the bottom of the window. On the far left, Meeting Details shows ways to invite attendees. You can copy and paste the link and send via email, text, or chat, or you can share the dial-in number and meeting code. In the center are options for muting and unmuting your microphone and video, as well as leaving the call.
Okay, so that's on
to share your screen, use the Present Now button and choose to share either your entire screen or just an application window.
That's on the desktop. Let me skip that for a second. I want to show you on the phone. Here's a couple screenshots. So that's why it's important that you have the app. From the app, I can create a new meeting, right? I could create a new meeting, or if I'm creating the meeting and see Lauren, could I just call you Lauren? Do we say the C? Just go like this. Yeah.
I go by C. Lauren because we had somebody else named Lauren Jones when I started 15 years ago. Right.
So there's a good backstory. C. Lauren and I are going to have a meeting, and I send her the code. She can then join with a code. Okay, so that's why that's very similar to Zoom, right? You could see they were losing so much market share to Zoom. They're like, man, we got to catch up, because originally they were just Hangouts, and Hangouts was very informal. Right? I was like, that's why they called it Hangouts, for kids to just get together. They have a big hangout online with video, and they're trying to make it more business-like, and they give you a call-in number and everything like that. So the second screenshot you see here is I'm going to create a new meeting, and then I'm going to go, okay, should I start an instant meeting, or should I schedule it in my Google Calendar? And again, it's entirely up to you. Let's say you go to a property, it's a brand new listing. You're like, man, do you guys do brokers opens? Yeah. Okay. So you go to a broker's open. It happens to me all the time. I'm like, damn, this is a nice property. Who do I have that I could sell this thing to? Right. And then I'm like, oh man, yeah, John, he's been looking for a while, but he hasn't been, because he was frustrated with the market. Take my phone out, do an instant meeting, and I walk him through the property right then and there. Right? Am I setting myself apart from the competition? Yes. Because in years past, you might have said, when I get back to the office, I'm going to email this to my client. And it's highly likely in this market that if you waited till you got back to the office, emailed it to your client, they check their email, by that time that property is probably sold. Right? I mean, it's so once you schedule that in Google Calendar, this is what did I do another screenshot for that? Let me see. Yeah. So it'll open up your calendar. It'll sync with whatever calendars you have on your phone. We did talk about that in Tech Tools to do the online calendar. If you have multiple calendars, they'll all be on there. So you'll know, okay, I have a listing appointment. I have my son's soccer game. I have whatever you have on your calendar there will sync up, no problem. And then you can add your client, if you're scheduling it, right? Add your client to the meeting via email. So they'll receive it via email, and it'll say, C. Lauren wants to have a meeting with you at this time, at this date. Again, man, just another level of professionalism that doesn't really require much tech savviness from you guys, right? You don't have to be like this super techie. It's just have the app, and it really just kind of walks you through it. Let me see if I could share my screen for a moment. Okay. So you should be able to, you should see my screen now. That's my emails. If I go to the Google, here these are all my Google apps. All right, if I come in here and I go Google Meet, I already had that I was going to create a meeting. I could take that link, I could paste it into the chat here, and we could all hop on this. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that right now. But if I create a new meeting, let's start an instant meeting. I'm the only one here. It's so depressing, isn't it? So if I go like this, I can give you guys a tour. And obviously it's meant, let me see if I make that bigger, for the other person to be on with you. So that whole black screen would be filled with a person or your client.
Can you show us your Google phone again? I mean, all the apps you have right on your screenshot.
Sure. Hold on one second.
Or we'd like to take a screenshot of that. That's pretty cool that you have all that you suggest.
Yeah, and I try not to overwhelm you guys when it comes to technology, but you're looking at my phone, and that's all of the Google that I have. And then if I went into social media, that's all of the social media apps that I have. And if I went into video, okay, so there's a lot in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think this is being recorded, right? Yeah, for quality assurance purposes. And you guys are posting this somewhere? Like on the, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be posted on our YouTube channel.
Oh, perfect. So you could always go back. And that's what I love when you record stuff. It's like when I'm talking technology, I understand that I'm a fast talking New Yorker. You guys are like, slow down, man. You could always stop, rewind it, watch it again, and see exactly how we're doing what we're doing. Okay. When we get to this next one, I'm going to prank call somebody so you guys can see what that's like. Google Duo, the difference between Google Duo and Google Meet, right? You saw that with Meet, it's more formal. Google Duo does one thing and it does one thing well, mobile to mobile. It goes cross-platform and the client doesn't have to have a Gmail account. My iPhone friends are going to go, well, I have FaceTime. FaceTime's mobile to mobile, but it's only iPhone to iPhone. Okay, you can't force me to get an iPhone just so we could FaceTime. I know my mom got an iPad just so that she could FaceTime with my kids, with the grandkids, right? The only reason I'm like, Mom, that's an expensive. You could have just downloaded this free app on your Android and been able to talk to them, but I want the big screen. So that's what she got. Okay, so it's cross-platform, mobile to mobile. It only requires your phone number, and it's very basic. It used to only be 1-to-1, but now you can have up to 12 people on a Google Duo call. So you could have great example. I'm showing houses tomorrow to this client that relocated from Alaska. She's here. Her husband is still in Alaska, which is 4 hours difference. We're going to walk through this property. If he likes it, we're then going to call him via Google Duo and walk him through the property live. Okay. She also has a brother who's in another state. I don't know where he is, but it's not Alaska and it's not New York. Her brother, who's the property we're looking at, has like an in-law suite or a teen suite, whatever you want to call it, separate from the house, totally separate with a wall that separates them, but it's not a two-family. And so the brother is going to live with them, and we could also bring him in on the call to walk through the property. You understand the difference? Like, I'm not sending them a virtual tour. What I'm doing is I'm walking them through the property live. Turn left, turn right. Oh, wait, let me see that countertop. What is that, quartz? No, this is for mica, but it looks nice, right? It's that high resolution for mica. And you can walk them through the property and really give them a great idea of what it looks like. Because the husband's not going to be to New York for another 4 weeks. So I'm providing service above and beyond. They were working with another agent. They didn't have an exclusive contract or anything like that. They decided to part ways with that agent because the agent said, well, what do you want me to do? Video chat your husband in? I can't do that. This is real estate. He has to see it. And then he told the wife, well, don't you need your husband's okay anyways to buy a home? I'm like, he said, what? I'm like, dude, you should know. Look, mostly the women make the choices. Every house my wife and I have purchased like 5 or 6 houses. It was like, always like, okay, is there a basement? That's all I want. A basement that's tall enough for me to do something with. everything else, she made the choice. And so they decided not to work with him because of how they were treated. Okay. But here's, again, a quick video to show you.
Google's new app, Duo, is a simple video calling service that's now available for Android and iOS. In a way, it's the company's answer to Apple's FaceTime, and it works very similarly. So, here's what you need to know about Duo. First, there's Knock Knock, which gives you a preview of who is calling by firing up the camera on the other end of the line. If you're initiating the call, you'll see a little notice that says your video is visible. Android users can see Knock Knock regardless of whether Duo is opened or not. In iOS, though, you'll only see it if you're in the app. Otherwise, you'll just get a notification saying someone's calling you. Now, before you worry about seeing anything you don't want to see from the other line, know that you can only receive knock knocks from people who are in your contact list. You can also block individual people from calling you. And if knock knock really isn't your thing, you can disable it altogether. At this point, you might be wondering what makes it different than Google's other communication platform, Hangouts. Well, according to Google, Duo is supposed to be way more specialized. Whereas Hangouts is cross-platform and supports group chats and multi-way video and messaging, Duo does one thing and one thing only: video calls. Unlike Hangouts, it reaches people through their phone numbers, not their emails, and the best difference between it and Hangouts, it uses end-to-end encryption. Because Duo is more streamlined, it has a very minimalistic user interface. Before you start a call, you'll see icons to start a video call and your contacts. During a call, you'll see yourself and icons to mute audio, switch cameras, and end the call. Video from the other line fills up your screen, and that's pretty much it. For more about Google's Duo app, check out our hands-on at cnet.com.
Okay, so what are some things you noticed that you should take note of? The very first thing they talked about.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Thank you, C. Lauren. Use that to your advantage. What I will say is realize that that's happening because some of you do the weirdest things before somebody picks up the phone, right? You'll be like this. You're looking up your nostrils. You're like checking your, like, I'm looking at Dan doing or checking out her hair, make sure her hair is okay. You know, all of these things, but use it to your advantage. So I might say, here, let me go full screen on this. I might go, can you see that? Right, and wave that because they can see that. So they know if they're at work, if they're doing something that they normally would have sent me to voicemail, it's like, dude, this is important. Pick up the phone. My brother, when I call him, when he calls me, he likes to tell me that I'm his number one brother, if you know what I mean, and not in a very polite way. So I'm going to try to prank him right now. Hold on one second. Share my screen again. Take this moment to download Duo if you don't have it. If you have a newer Android phone, they come with them nowadays. The app is defaulted on your phone, so you probably have it. Once you download it, it's going to ask you, do you want to sync with your contacts? You're going to say yes. And then it'll tell you, you'll be surprised how many of your friends already have it. Where are we at? Oh, look, see, that's my calendar. I told you guys that in my last session to get the calendar widget. I use that every single day. Google Duo. So I click the app. Try a new video effect. Ooh. No, see, I get easily distracted, so I can't do that right now. Josh Hernandez is my brother. Okay. Video call. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, bro. Oh, bro, you are a sexy beast, man.
Oh, hey, look, it's our mother's second favorite child. How are you?
First favorite, last born, the baby of the family. What are you doing? You're not video chatting and driving, are you? Is that a simulated background?
No. I would never do anything like that. Hey, it's a green light. Move.
What? Let me ask you. Do you have a closet where you're headed?
Yeah, right.
All right. Hang this up. All right. So I hung up on my brother. But you see how easy that was? Let me stop sharing. Did I stop sharing? Yeah. I didn't tell him that I was calling ahead of time. He saw that it was me. He picked up the phone. I'm sure that he wasn't really driving. That was just a simulated background. But he lives in Pennsylvania. He's not in New York, right? He's nowhere near me. And it was easy. If anybody else that was on there that you saw, that's already defaulted. Those aren't people that I've added or made friends on my Google Duo. It's just people that already have it that I can call without any issues. Next, we have note taking. Again, this ties right into the tech tools that we talked about. And were all of you with me for the tech tools class? I don't think so. I'm seeing some newer faces. Maybe you were busy that day and then you heard that you shouldn't have missed it and you decided to come today. So the example I always give is our average sale price here is $154,576. I had a referral for a $350,000 house listing, called me in the office. And just like you, if I get a call about business, I'm going to grab whatever scrap piece of paper is nearby. It could be a piece of toilet paper. It wouldn't matter. As long toilet paper and a crayon, I'm writing down that information for that person. I hopped in the car, beautiful day, roll down the window. That lead flew out the window. Okay, on the expressway, never to be found again. That person called from like an outbound office number, so there was no way for me to track them back to who they were, what department they were in. So I no-called, no-showed a $350,000 listing. That told me that I needed to come up with a new system. And so using Google Keep, that Google Keep is the yellow one on the right, and then the green elephant is Evernote. Either one. They both work great, just whatever you're going to use. I use both of them because I might be working with somebody that goes, hey, I have Evernote. That's what I prefer to use. Okay, great. Because I can share these notes with team members. I can share these notes with people within the office. I can share these notes with clients. I can share these notes with other agents. So if you take a listing and you have in there, okay, furnace is 2018, roof is 2020 because, it got blown off in the last windstorm, and you put whatever other information you want in there, you could, don't put any confidential client information, but you could take that because there's a link that ties right into that note and put that into the listing under private remarks. I'm going to put it in the public so that you can avoid. Again, remember I talked about being efficient and more productive? Being efficient is all about not taking the unnecessary phone calls. That agent going, how old's this furnace? And I'm like, I don't know, 1960? Doesn't it look like the Cadillac of furnaces? The thing is almost as big as the entire basement, and you're calling me about it? Of course, it needs to be replaced. But that's all information that you could have in the notes that you could share. With team members, it's really great because if you're a listing agent and you have buyer's agents that are showing your listings or people within the office, again, they don't have to call you and go, Kim, how old's the roof on this property? When was the pool done? Or anything else, right? Was there a rate? Do you guys have radon? Radon? Okay, you don't know what it is. All right, never mind. Mold, right? Was there a mold issue here? Was it remediated? What caused it? You have any kind of documentation in that? It's not just information. You could have pictures of stuff. You could have PDFs in there. I actually, rather than print, if my clients are okay with it, I'll email them the listing and then I will print to a PDF and put that in my Evernote. And then I just carry my phone or my tablet, and then I have all of the listing information right then and there. Right? Some of you have that vehicle that's full of paper, right? If you don't put down your windows because all of the paper will fly everywhere because you have 20 or 30 listings from each client since the beginning of time. So the best way to do that is to start using less paper. I hate when people say paperless because you're not going to go paperless overnight. You're going to get, you'll break out into hives. You'll hyperventilate. It's better to just kind of wean yourself off of it and start implementing new systems. And Google Keep and Evernote will help you to do that. Do I still take notes on whatever piece of paper I can find? Yeah. But what do? I take a picture. And then it's stored in there. Okay. And I am not I am not super organized. I just know how to find stuff. You can find stuff by keyword. You could find it by address. You could find it by client name. But for those of you who are like super OCD, you could have, they're called stacks in Evernote. So you could have a stack of notes, right? You have notes in a notebook. So I could have a notebook labeled buyers. Now in that notebook, I don't have a lot of paper in my office because I am paperless, but in that notebook, let's just say each piece of paper is a buyer, and you have all of the details for that buyer since the beginning of time. That piece of paper can go on indefinitely, right? You don't have to go, oh, I need to go to another sheet of paper, right? Those of you who are using the legal pads, and I know who you are because when I call you, I hear this. I know it's here somewhere. You get that crinkling paper sound. It's the best way to, again, be more productive. You can find stuff. If you have a client that calls you, boom, I know where it is, baby. I know where it is. It's on my phone and it's in Google Keep, or it's in Evernote. I'll search the two places because, again, I put stuff in both places. But it's better than, oh, when I get back to the office, it's in a filing cabinet somewhere. Not productive, okay? This fifth one, again, realtor safety is of the utmost importance. We hear of agents getting hurt all the time. I want to blame HGTV for that, a lot of it, because they make us look like we're these independently wealthy people that with money coming out of our pockets and expensive cars, and it's ridiculous. So we're targeted a lot of times. And this is a free app. And again, take a moment to download it, please. It's called Be Safe. Okay? Be Safe. I'm going to put on break music while you download it. Okay, here's why I like it. It's free. There's no monthly service, because there are others out there that charge monthly service. And look at, in real estate, we're like monthly recurring investment to death. Like the only way you ever really know all the things you're getting charged for is when you get a new credit card. When your old one expires, you're like, damn, I didn't know I had that for $40 a month for the last 5 years. Then you'll realize, like, you got to start looking at this stuff every single year. But this is free. What you're going to do first is, once you download the app, you're going to add people who are your guardians. Okay. And it's not just your husband or wife or spouse. It's going to also be your colleagues, people who are available during the day, people that can call for help if you need it. So if you have an admin that's at the office all day long, I'd add them. If you have somebody like a real estate friend that you talk to during the day, whether it's at your company or not, add them. The more people, the better. Okay. Now, if something does happen, let's say I walk into this home, and again, you should have office policies as far as like, they come to the office, you get their license plate number, you get their license ID, all that, copies of it. And this, but let's say you don't, right? Because we're in an industry where we're like, oh yeah, stranger, I would love to meet you at that property surrounded by 50 acres. And we've never met before today. Sounds great. Sounds like a great plan. You wouldn't do that with a blind date, but you'll do it with a stranger who wants to buy this property. So you go there and you get to, I don't know about this guy or gal, because let's be fair. There's a fake call me feature. So fake call me, and this one I'll say females have been using this since the beginning of time, right? Kim goes on a date and she says, hey, Dana, call me in an hour. And if it's not going well, I'll give you a keyword and you tell me you got a flat tire so I could get out of the date, right? You guys can admit you've done that at least once in your lifetime. So with the fake call me, your phone rings and you put who's calling you. You can say, okay, my dad's call. Oh, I got to answer. This is my dad. And then run out of the house, right? Rather than like, if he's suspicious or whatever the case may be, the fake call me feature is kind of a great way to like, oh, I got to take this call, and then haul buns out of there. Send my location. This is great for not just latchkey children, but to be sure, like my wife does it with me all the time. She's like, I'm going in here. I've pre-qualified this guy And she goes a step further. She's like, I went on his Facebook and he doesn't, I don't know, but here's my location. And she'll send me her location, GPS based. There's safety following as well. Again, if somebody's supposed to be somewhere at a certain time, you can follow them to be sure. But the SOS feature, right? Save our ship, is what you really want to concentrate on. If something does happen, you push a button. It goes off. There's an audible alert. Okay. But it automatically sends your location to all of your guardians. Okay. Number 2, it starts recording video and audio on your phone. So if something's happening, I'd be like this, stop, like, oh my God, stop beating me, stabbing me, whatever you're doing. And I'm trying to record them, their car, their license plate, whatever I can get, because if something does happen and, I get stabbed or whatever the case may be, at least they can find the person, because then the second text message that's sent to all of your guardians is the video and the audio. So even if they take your phone and they go, oh my God, give me this, you can't record me, I'm getting away with this crime, it'll be sent to your guardians and you'll be safe. Okay. So that's be safe. And here's a quick video.
Don't feel like it's ever going to happen to you.
But it did to Cassandra Bowman.
There's now an alarm to tell others when you're in danger.
Be safe.
Be safe. Be safe.
Be safe app.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Developers say it's an app that could save your life.
It's been getting so much attention. It is about to launch an upgrade.
You have this app called Be Safe that you've invested in.
I actually got involved with the Be Safe app because there's a woman, Celia, who she's a mother, and she created this app. I really love this particular app, and it's pretty much like a new 911.
It's a perfect tool to use.
Okay, so that's Be Safe. It is endorsed by Jada Pinkett Smith, so that's a bonus. If Jada's using it, why shouldn't you? It can help save your life or the life of a colleague. All right, so I'm going to go through these a little bit faster. These aren't going to be in-depth, but I'm going to tell you the app, and I'm going to tell you what it's good for, okay? WhatsApp is a group messaging app similar to Facebook Messenger. It actually has over 2 billion active users, billion with a B, active users worldwide. If you're not familiar with it, again, it's because it's more familiar in other markets. But if you have anybody that you need to contact long distance internationally, there's free, Dana does, okay. There's free calling internationally. You can share HD video, HD photos, documents. There's end-to-end encryption, so it's secure. I mean, this is, again, a great way for you to communicate with anybody. If you're involved with any kind of groups, we use WhatsApp to create groups to communicate. If you've ever been caught in the purgatory of a group text message, right? Or you're like, I had a friend of mine do it like the last holiday, whatever it was, like 80 of us. I'm like, why in the world would you do that? We're not friends anymore. Like, this is awful. But with WhatsApp, if you do committee work, it's fantastic, right? Like, here's the committee. You guys can just keep communicating. When's the next meeting? Here's the notes. Here's everything. Perfect. WhatsApp. Slide dial. Do we have any slide dial users? Okay. See, Lauren, she's good. See, sometimes the slide dialers are like sly foxes, and they're like, I'm not going to tell you that I use that. So what slide dial is you can bypass somebody's phone ringing, and it'll go right to voicemail. So if I have 17 people that wrote offers on this property, I can leave 16 messages and not have to talk to the agents. Or if you just want to confirm a showing, or you have a client that's Chatty Kathy or Chatty Ken, you could just leave a message. It's fantastic. What I will say is, if you have engineers or architects or like very detail-oriented clients, you have to tell them that you're doing it, because I'll just share this quick story. I had a client, I left him a message because he's an engineer. He wants to keep me on the phone for an hour just to confirm one thing. And he calls me right back and he's like, JMan? I'm like, yes. He's like, weirdest thing. My phone didn't ring. I'm like, weirdest thing. He goes, no, I was sitting here and I was looking right at my phone and the voicemail popped up. I'm like, yeah. You got the message though? He's like, yeah. He's like, but I'm going to Verizon tomorrow morning to figure out the problem here. I'm like, I use an app called Slide Out because I didn't want to bother you, sir. And he's like, okay. Because like, seriously, engineers are going to want to figure it out. What's the problem? Third one down, CamScan. CamScan, I use this a lot with clients. They can take a picture of anything and create a PDF. You can use it yourself if you want to like create expense reports, take a picture of receipts. As I am on trips, I do that because if I don't do stuff right away, I'll forget to do it or I won't do it. And so when I'm on vacation, every day I'll scan my receipts with my CamScan, send it to my accountant because I have somebody that does the books for me, and then they have it. Because if I waited till the end of the quarter, that stuff would get into the wash, right? I mean, Tommy, you know, right? I mean, I think it's a guy thing. We leave stuff in our pockets all the time, and then it just gets washed. CSS or showing, I got to change that actually. It's now just showing time because showing time acquired centralized showing. So you guys have showing time? Is it integrated with the MLS? No? Yes? Okay, yes. I love this, and I love it not just for me, but for my clients as well. I use BombBomb, and I send them a video email in the beginning and say, hey, we use an app called Showing Time. You're going to get notified via text, via email, and a voice call for every single showing. You can confirm it any way you want, and then you'll be able to view all the showings and all the feedback right from the app. They love it, okay? Glimpse, just like you would think, it gives people a glimpse into your location. So I use this to train clients in the beginning because they're like children, right? They're like lovely cats that sit on a pedestal behind us. You can't train cats. But when I get there in the beginning, okay, I'm at the property. Hey, Jason, I'm here for our 1 o'clock appointment. I'm always early. So it'd be like 12:45. He gets the point that I'm there early, number one, and then I send him a glimpse, which is my GPS location. So there's no excuse why he can't get there. Oh, here's, just in case, I don't know how your navigation works or whatever. Want to make sure you got here on time. You do that 3 or 4 times, you're going to have them trained pretty well to be there on time when you're ready. IG apps. IG stands for Instagram. There's a whole slew of Instagram apps. We're going to kind of get into that next month when we talk Snap. I forgot what I named that class. Insta Chat and Snapgram or something like that. But it's going to be all about social media. That's next month. There's a whole bunch of apps for that. RPR Mobile, Realtor Property Resource. I use that probably once a day if I'm out with clients and they go, oh, what about that house right there? And I go, boop. I use the GPS. I look up the property. I can see photos inside. I could create a seller's report, property report, market report, neighborhood report, school report right from my phone. Okay. A-Wallet PW. That stands for password. It's a password keeper. Do we not have too many passwords to remember these days? Yeah. So you just have to remember the one password to get into the app. And if you have, it's even better. If you have a newer phone and you have the thumbprint to get into the phone, you won't even need to remember the password. You can just use your thumbprint to get in. Expensify, just like you would think. Create expense reports. You take pictures. You can create expense reports on the fly. Social media, again, that's going to be all social media apps. The program that I'm using right now is called Prezi, Prezi. You can see how it's a little bit more dynamic. I have all of my listing presentations, my buyer presentations built in. I could, from my phone, if my computer were to crash, I could do an entire presentation from my phone using Prezi. And if they had a smart TV, I could cast it from my phone to their smart TV. You got that client right off the bat immediately. They're like, man, you are so tech savvy. ZTR, those are your portals, right? Pillow, Rulia, and Realtor.com. No, I can say Realtor.com. If you are a Zillow Premier member, there's a Zillow Premier app that you should have, or you should probably already know about it. It takes your leads, it puts them in there, it tells you conversions, tells you a way to reach them and all that. Legend. This is how you become legendary. What it does is it animates text. So I use this a lot for video intros. If I want to say it, like I do a series called Top Spots in the Rock, it animates the text. It's really cool, and it creates an MP4. So you can add that to videos if you wanted to. Snapseed is like Photoshop for your phone. It actually has all the capabilities of Photoshop, and it's easier to use. Like, I'm tech savvy, and I hate Photoshop. It sucks, in my opinion, right? It's just not user-friendly. Top right, you see cloud. That's all of your cloud stuff. So that would be Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, OneDrive, iCloud, whatever you're using for your cloud. That's why I didn't name them all individually. You got to have an app for it. Doodle. Doodle.com is the best way for you to schedule meetings. What it is, it's a survey-related app where if I'm going to have a meeting, let's say my wife, she runs the PTA for our kids' school. And she says, rather than have this email correspondence back and forth with 10 different people, what day is good for you? What time? And it's, oh my gosh. You send out this poll and you'll say, all right, here's 3 dates and 3 times. Everybody vote for the best date and time. Whatever the majority votes for is when we're having the meeting. It's fantastic. Again, streamlined, more productive. Waze is a socially based navigation app. It's better than Google, and it's funny because Google owns it, but they still kept it different so that you guys could go, I like Waze better than Google. And they're like, I don't care. We own them both. But what it does is, if Tommy's driving somewhere and he sees Smokey there, or a state trooper trying to get you, he says, whoop, there's a state trooper right here. I'm driving behind him. I then get notified that there's a state trooper coming up. If he's not there, it'll say, is he still here? Yes or no? I go, nope, he's left. The guy behind me then is updated. It's real time, socially based. And it's not just for police officers because, we all obey the law. We don't speed at all. But it's also traffic. I can tell you more than once, I've tried to make a liar out of Waze, and you will always be wrong. I'm like, that's not the best way to go. I know the best way. And then I'm stuck in a traffic jam. Or one time I was in the country and it was like this combine, right? Blocking the whole freaking road. And we got a train of like 20 cars, and Waze knew that. All right. Bitmoji. Do we have any Bitmoji users? Okay. All right. Excellent. And I'll tell you, look, some of this is about having fun, and it's okay to have fun. Somewhere in your life, somebody said, usually our teacher said, you don't have fun. You be serious. You be professional. And I'm going to tell you the opposite. You have fun and you do what you want to do. I shared this with my mother, and she was like, but it says average age is 13. Like, it's meant for teenagers. And I'm like, no, Ma, do it. Now it is the only way that she shares information with me. The only way. She'll send me like a Bitmoji of like, dinner's served, like a person with like a little turkey. And like, I'm like, perfect. Visually, you can have a whole conversation without typing anything, just using Bitmojis. Join.me. Again, that's going to be a screen sharing type app. If you wanted to share your screen with somebody, you can share it with a code rather than like using Zoom or anything like that. Diptyque, you got to be careful how you say that. It's a collage making app. Diptyque. Clips allows you to transcribe videos. It's an iOS only app, so it's iPhone or iPad. You record the video in the app, and it transcribes it automatically for you right in the video. Clips. HomeSnap. Do you guys have HomeSnap? No? Yes? See, Lauren says yes. Dana says no. Dana, you got to get on it. HomeSnap it's fantastic. I use this with every single client. You can send them the branded version of HomeSnap with your profile on it. Now, when they look for homes, they don't have to say to you, it's the blue house on Route 70. Okay, thanks. Let me search that in the MLS. They can search by GPS and say, okay, it's here, find the house, and then share it with you within the app. But anything that they find is branded to you. So there's no risk of them finding another agent and cheating on you. Business Diva, Terry, I like that. Easily distracted. Messenger, we talked about Facebook Messenger. Fitness Pal, if you're into fitness, it's a great way to kind of track what you eat. Mile IQ tracks your mileage. You hop in the car and it says, is this business or is this pleasure? You hit business, it tracks your mileage for you. We are one of the most the most audited industries on the planet, because none of you, of course, but other people fudge the numbers quite often. And it's really easy for the IRS to audit us and find us, some fraudulent activity there. KindMaster is a mobile video editing app. Unroll.me is a unsubscribing app. You can go right through your email and say either I want to unsubscribe, I want to keep it in my email, or I want to add it to a daily digest, which means like I have one email from all of my subscriptions rather than my inbox being cluttered up with all these different emails that I subscribe to. Does that make sense, Jeff? You look like you were confused. Yeah? Okay. Look confused for a second. And then Pages. Pages, I got to update this. It used to be called Pages. It's now called Business Suite. That's a Facebook page managing app. Boom. Right on time. Pow. I got you here. 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock your time. But any questions, please feel free to ask them now. And I'll come back to this screen over here.
I had a question about BombBomb.
Yes, sir.
The CRM that I have has BombBomb integrated in it already. Would I be better off utilizing that or having BombBomb as a standalone by itself?
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a CRM as well that integrates it, but it's like whatever's faster for me, because initially you're going to create all of the content within BombBomb, right? Like if it's client communications, we have, here's the pending process. Should I get a home inspection? Home insurance, what it covers, flood insurance, all of these things that we'll send them at least one per week. It's in BombBomb, but then you just have to, probably it's the embed code that you would take from and then put into your CRM, or just the link and bring it over. As long as you could still get the same tracking, because that's where a lot of that power comes on the back end for the analytics. If I send out a video email to my entire database on the market activity, and let's say I had 5,000 people in my database, if 60 of them click through, meaning they open the email, they watch it, because you'll know who watches your videos, but they click through to the market activity report. Now, those 60 people, I would then do a follow-up video with and be like, hey, Jeff, I saw that you clicked on the market activity report. Keep in mind, real estate's hyper local. I can make a market activity report for you, for your neighborhood, for your zip code, for your school district, whatever you want. Just give us a call. We're happy to help. Free of charge.
Hey,
right. So using those analytics. Yeah, see, Lauren.
Question 2. One is, do you pay for HomeSnap Pro, or
No.
you just use the free HomeSnap?
I like free 99. I like it free. I don't pay for the pro. I don't see the value. Because a lot of that,
lets you see who's looking at your profile. But I have not paid for it, but they constantly try to get us to buy it. So I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
And then for Jeff and you. Okay. Second question, what do you use for your CRM and what does Jeff use? Hey, Jeff.
I use
Jeff
Wise
Jones
Agent.
And you?
AC Lauren, our brokerage provides KV Core.
Okay.
Yeah, I use Wise Agent.
Okay.
If you send me a message, I have a link that I can send you. And for BombBomb, I have another link. It's bomb.jmanseminars.com. If you sign up through that, what you'll get is all of my templates. I do have a partnership with them where I said, if I refer anybody, can you please make sure they get my templates? Because that's what takes up the most time are those templates. And so I want to make it easy for you guys. And some of it you'll customize for your market, because are you guys title or attorney state? Title? Who does the closings?
Title companies with
title.
A lawyer.
So, all right. So like for us, we have attorneys. And so 20% of our closings actually happen on time. And I have one video that specifically goes out like, listen, you will never, ever, 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 ever close on time. You have a better chance of predicting your baby's due date then you do your closing date. So don't plan anything around that. Don't get any non-refundable deposit. Don't take off of work, and don't line up any friends to help you move until we have a firm closing date from the attorney. Because that was like one of the biggest stressors in any transaction, when we don't close on time and everybody's freaking out. But stuff like that, yeah, you'll get my content and you can customize it for you.
We actually had a question in the chat and that I did answer privately, but I just wanted to clarify for one, and then also so everyone else could know. And the question was like, what does BombBomb cost? And I responded that the app itself is free, but then they have different plans according to what type of like plan. Like, do you want the ultimate plan, or do you just want like, the simple little basic plan?
Yeah, so it's like, your favorite adult diapers. It depends on how they do it by how many contacts you have. You don't need the Mac Daddy plan that's like, I think it's like $600 a month or $600 a year. Sorry, $600 a month. I would never, ever talk about it in my lifetime. But it's when I started, it was up to 2,500 contacts, I believe, and it was like $239 a year. Right, so $20 or $30 a month. I could tell you, if I had to strip down everything that I pay for, the last thing that I would get rid of is BombBomb, just because I'm not good at keeping in touch with my clients. BombBomb is, because I just set it and forget it, or we have like an admin person that I'm like, okay, we went into contract, send them the pending process email. Like, we have a whole kind of a drip campaign that's automated but personalized.
Did you just set up a Scan Me? There's a Scan Me a QR code, and what is that for?
Hold on, let me point the right way. That goes to my link tree. So if you scan that, this is probably, again, another great, you can just go to qrcodegenerator.com or just Google QR code generator. You set up what's called a link tree. And maybe, Tommy, since I'm talking, you could maybe Google link tree and just put that in the chat for me.
What I'm actually doing, I just sent the link. I scanned it, but I'm sending the actual link itself to myself, and I'm just going to put the link in the chat for everyone as well.
Yeah,
and scanning can work for somebody.
Yeah, so it's perfect. It's a tree of links is all it is. Rather than me saying, hey, Jeff, follow me on Facebook, it's JMan Speaks. Follow me on Instagram, it's JMan Speaks. Follow me on Twitter, it's JMan Sells. Follow me on LinkedIn, it's JMan Sells. And going through all of my social media, it's all there. Or if you just want to save my virtual card, click there, you download that. And, I connected with probably 4 or 5 dozen people during the NAR annual conference this week using this tool alone. Because I'm in a Zoom like this, and people are filling the chat with stuff, and they could just go, hey, scan this, and you get it, and you have my information. Because this is what I promise you. I'm sure you've heard speakers before say, reach out to me and I'll help you with any of your questions. And then they ghost you. I promise that if you have any questions, as long as it's not like, hey, could you design a business plan for me? As long as it's very basic, and can help you with your business, just reach out and I'll be happy to help. I will give you candid feedback. Not always what you want to hear, but the truth.
Hey, your link tree
is in the chat.
Page. Are you on the free one or the pro?
I'm on the free.
Okay.
What was that, Tommy?
The link is now in the chat if anyone couldn't get the scan to work.
Perfect. Yeah, and the scan nowadays, if you have a newer phone, it should be just you open up your camera and you look at it, and it'll say, do you want to go to this website? You say yes. If you don't have a phone that does that, it's time to get a new phone. If you have a phone that flips, we can't even talk. We can't be friends. You should flip houses, but you should never flip a phone. There's a lot of, get a new phone, at least double digits, like iPhone 10 or better, or Samsung Galaxy S10 or better, because that's when they added multiple lenses. Like, I have 3 lenses facing that way, and then I have 2 lenses facing my selfie.
So once we scan this, it brings up 10 different links. What's the best way to save this scan as a QR, or where should we save all of this?
All of my information?
Yeah, like it opens up 10 different links.
Yeah, so you pick where you want to connect. The first one I think would be the easiest. It's a virtual card. If you click that, then you save me to your phone, and now you have Jeremias from Rochester, New York. If you have a referral, you can call me. If you have a question, you can call me. When you see me in Mississippi, when we can see people again, right? Then you have my information there as well. And I added the virtual card this week because somebody asked for it. But when it comes to social media, and I guess we'll talk about that next month, it's like we just connect, right? If you follow me, we become friends. I don't need any other information because your profile has all of that. Does that make sense?
And there is a under his name and description, there's a save option on his virtual card. You just click that and then download it. It'll save as a file or a photo to your phone.
Thanks, Tommy. We make a pretty good team.
I know, right?
All right. Any other questions? Give yourselves a round of applause. Give you a virtual one. Oh, that's so low. That's right. Hold on. It's got to be louder. There you go. Again, my name is Jeremias, JMan Maneiro. Thank you all for spending an hour of your time with me today. Hopefully some of the apps you've downloaded them all except for the long list at the end. But feel free to watch this back. It'll be posted on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next month. Do we know the date? I have it in my calendar.
December 3rd, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's less than a month away. So December 3rd,
Yes.
I'm going to give you a bunch of social media information in an hour or less to really help you thrive in 2021, because I think we're headed for another shutdown depending on where you are. And it doesn't matter to me because with social media and video, I can connect with more people than ever before without having to see them face to face.